Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I am your host, Big Mike, here on another week after a long week in sports. We're here to chop it up, recap mostly football tonight, little off-field stuff, but we're going to get into all of it. You know I'm not alone. I can't do this alone. I've got the Mad Producer Podcast Poppy in the building.
Estamos aquí. We're here.
And I have back from his rage quit during the fantasy draft. Anthony is in the building.
How's it doing? How we doing?
I mean, we're all not doing good. I mean, we all took we all of our teams
took mighty L's.
In different ways. We all took L's.
They were all bad L's too.
They were.
I don't know. There's one L that's much worse than the others, but we can get.
I mean, we can debate. We can debate whose L was worse. But we will start with the. I guess it's the premier game. I mean, it was Monday Night Football. The Aaron Rodgers era reset button. Jets, Niners from the Bay. Niners get that dub 32-19. I mean, that simple signals how close the game was. I mean,
no,
the Niners ran away in the second half. Like, it kind of felt.
No, there was a garbage touchdown.
Yeah, by the end of the third, fourth, it was kind of like, yeah.
The Niners kicked like 9 field goals. They just kept kicking. It was one of those things where defense, nothing worked. Nothing worked. The Niners do that thing that they do with literally every running back that they've had over the last 8 years, where you just plug and play them, and it doesn't matter. I've gone through it. I've named like 8 different running backs before, but it's like, oh, they don't need to play. They don't need to pay Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, because guys like fucking what's his face, Jordan Mason, come up out of fucking nowhere after not playing like ever, and just drop a fucking a 150 on you.
Tore the Jets up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, here's what I said to Anthony in the chat. The running teams usually have success against us, right? If you can run the ball, pound the ball, you're probably going to have success. Where the Jets normally kill you is in the pass coverage. That's where we get you, because you play into the strengths of it. The Niners offensive line, they gave up 2 sacks, but they were getting pressured and collapsing all night just based off of pressures. Purdy was making great throws out of the pocket. The pocket was collapsing. It is what it is. Like, he made great plays out of the pocket.
Love hearing you say that.
No, like, I'm not going to shit on a guy when he's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, right?
That's
was collapsing and he stood. And he go to training camp. He stood in the pocket and he made throws with hands in his face, which he did. It's just the Jets couldn't get the sacks. Also is when you're running the football down somebody's throat, you change the entire philosophy of how the defense is called. The Jets usually play nickel the entire game, right? They'll play with 2 linebackers, 3 corners, 2 safeties, and then the line. Playing for the pass because 90% of the league plays that way. The Niners are one of those teams who normally will just be dinking, dunking, and do it that way while also being able to run the ball. They also could flip it on a switch and be like, hey, we're just going to pass like 10 times. And then, granted, they passed 30 times, but they're a team that they could go.
I wouldn't say
no,
that.
They did. They're a team that can literally hand the ball off 50 times and not have to worry about it. Like that Mac Jones game against the Bills where he only threw like 3 passes. The Niners could easily do that too because of how versatile of an offense they are. Because Shanahan is a fucking great play caller. And his running lane schemes is something that goes back to his daddy, where they've been able to do this forever. It don't matter which Shanahan's calling plays, they're going to be able to run the football. It just is what it is.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was going to say, I thought the play calling was very good as usual.
as expected.
I thought Debo killed y'all.
Yeah,
I thought otherwise.
I thought Debo was killing every time
Debo was
time they need a play, it seemed like Debo was
Yeah.
getting it.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
single
So
time.
that was the second quarter. That was towards the end of the second quarter where he had a bunch of different grabs. That's when Sauce went out. Fun fact, they didn't throw at Sauce at all after that Ayuk play where he notched the ball out in the middle of the field. That was the last time they targeted him.
So do you think that was because they were afraid of him? Because I think they were just running the ball down your throat. There was no need to.
But they were also passing. That's the thing. They were passing the left side of the field the entire night. They didn't go right.
They didn't need to.
Why do you think that is? Is
they
it
were
out of
running the ball
is it out
down
of
your throat.
necessity?
I don't think they did. I don't think they needed to.
I think
they were using Ayuk as a decoy most of the night.
Ayuk played better, though. The person who really got the thing was Jennings. Jennings was the one who was getting off. Jennings was absolutely getting off at receiver. Ayuk had a couple plays out that got him, but the one thing that gets to me crazy is the miscommunication by Ashton Davis on the wheel route to Juszczyk. That one was wild to me because it was Jamie Sherwood and then Ashton Davis both crashed down on the crosser, and Ashton realized too late when Juszczyk ran right by him. On the previous play in that drive where Juszczyk on the right side was wide the fuck open. They didn't throw to that right side. I wonder why. Because Sauce was right there. Didn't do it.
Oh my gosh.
Anywho, I watched Revis do that, and I heard the same excuses. Shuts down the entire side of the field. But yeah, there was a bunch of miscommunications on that side. I thought outside of the hilarity of these turnovers the Jets offense had, Rodgers looked good.
I thought he looked okay.
I thought he looked good. Maybe it's because I'm clouded with horrendous quarterback play over the last decade.
And you have tinted glasses on.
I thought Rodgers looked.
What would be the grade?
I don't think he looked great.
Him? What would be the grade you would give him then?
A B.
Okay.
What, am I wrong? Is that too high?
That's the grade I would have given him.
Yeah, like I thought. But again, I'm used to like D's.
Well, look, that touchdown drive must have been real refreshing for you to see, man.
Dude, so let me tell you the roller coaster of emotions, right? I knew the way the play calling was going to go after that first drive. I could have predicted every single drive going forward, and I would have been correct outside of that touchdown drive where it just looked like Rodgers like, okay, enough. Enough of your bullshit here. Like, this is not working. I think the play calling was, this is why I hate that we had to play the Niners now. Granted, I'm happy we got it out of the way because this game later in the season could have been a massive momentum killer. But they called plays to make sure Aaron didn't like hurt himself. They were calling plays to protect him at all costs. That's why it was run, pass, run, pass, run.
Yeah, I think they're trying to ease him in a little bit.
Yeah,
they're being a little conservative.
And I'm like, I get it. But then when you see that drive, that touchdown drive, which triggered myself and Roz to be like, if this is what this offense is going to be, then cool. Like, we're here. This is exactly what we wanted. Garrett Wilson catching a million balls and just.
And I think it's still in.
Crazy. Garrett was great in those drives.
Yeah.
Like that one fade on the outside where he just caught old boy's arm with him. Yeah. I was like, oh yes, this is one of those games.
But the thing is, I know you have your issues with Lazard, but I think it should feel good for Lazard to go off too as well.
I think it's good for Lazard's confidence to do that. I've already sent Lazard to the moon. There's no coming back. There's really no coming back for Lazard. Once you're like on that most hated, like that seat, that's yours until like proven otherwise, until somebody can make me hate them more. Right? And I have a whole season of hatred for him He's got to do a lot of work to overcome that. A lot of work to overcome that. Like, you can't just not hate somebody you hate, right? Like, you can't. How are you supposed to change that? It's not going to happen. And the hatred that I felt for him intensified on that first drop.
First drive, first play.
That first drop where I'm like, come the fuck on. And Aaron just stared at him, just. That's why when we were talking about in the pre-show, I'm like, oh, I love that the first thing Aaron said about the offense is Allen needs to catch that pass. Like, I don't care how good Allen was later on in the game. Allen needs to catch that pass. And it's just, and then he made some great plays. He made a play on the sideline similar to what Mike Evans did in that Bucs game, where Evans was going to a fade around the end zone. His hands were tied, and then just stuck his hands out last second to make a catch along the sidelines for the touchdown. Lazard did the same thing. And I'm just like, I hate that you fucking do this stuff. Because where was this all last year?
Uh-huh.
Where, like, and then again, the last play I saw you do it was you fucking dropped an easy ball right here, wide open. So it's just like, I hate that you do this, because then now it's like, okay, cool, great catch. I still hate you though. But then the one play that had me like, I'm cool with us losing, like, it is what it is. Week 1, offensive line looked great. Couple pressures that you do, but significant upgrade from what I'm used to, especially against that defense. That was cool. But that fucking free play touchdown,
vintage Aaron Rodgers.
Insanity.
That was nice. That was nice.
That happened, and I'm like, I know we're about to lose this game, but I'm not a big Aaron Rodgers guy.
Really?
I'm not. It's very well known I'm not a very big Aaron Rodgers guy. But he did that, I just started smiling, like a shit-eating grin. Because it's just like, I guess that's mine now. Like, I guess that's mine now. Like, okay, cool. That is I've never seen a Jet quarterback do that. In my life. I've never seen a Jet quarterback do that in my life.
My man's a spoiler.
Dude, it's I see it and I'm like, you know what? I'm cool. This team's only gonna get better. Like, you get this game out of the way, you're only gonna get better. We have a nice stretch of games coming up where it's not like incredible teams like the 49ers. Like, we have a nice stretch to build momentum to get into that Bills game. So it's like, okay, cool.
What are you for the Buffalo game?
We're Tennessee next.
And then
the Patriots.
The New England game that you said they're going to lose, Anthony.
The Broncos.
That's a win.
The Broncos and then the Vikings.
Vikings could be a toss-up.
I don't think so. The Vikings play the Giants. We'll see what the Vikings play. Who do they play? They play the Niners this week. The Vikings play the Niners this week.
Is that in Minnesota or Sanford?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters.
I don't think
We'll
it matters
see.
either.
My nephew is a Vikings fan, so I went to go pick up my mom for a doctor's appointment the other night. He meets me at the door. He's like, the fucking Jets. And I was like, you played the Giants. He's like, the Giants are a great team. I'm like, who told you that? Who told you that? You've been talking to your fucking grandfather too much. But
you gotta give Sam Darnold a little bit of credit.
I'll give Sam Darnold
that Giants defense got some pieces on. Like,
they got
the team's not.
They look like they had nothing. But the way that offensive line was blocking their best pieces was like, okay, cool. they got nothing right now. But yeah, all in all, this game sucked to watch.
It sucked for you.
It sucked for me. It was great for you because you hate the Jets. Mike immediately goes, this doesn't look like a top 5 defense. And let me remind you, last year the Jets were a top 3 defense, and we got hung 40 on like 3 times. And still were a top 3 defense.
They were not a top 3 defense, but
they were in every way. In every statistical category, they were a top 3 defense.
We're not going to go down this
because outside of that Dallas Cowboy game, every top quarterback we played got the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, great.
Yeah, not a top 3 defense though.
Not
loser.
I watched this game on the phone with Roz, and let me tell you, a time was had. So just to pull the curtain back, guys, we had a level 4 out of 5, maybe even level 5, flirting with 5, argument with Dylan and Roz after the game, which really just was crazy that you guys will never know about in extent, but just know it went
They'll never
crazy.
know.
But watching
My
the game,
question for you was I wrong?
I'm not answering that. I'm not answering that. The emotion, the roller coaster that you said, Dylan. Roz was excited. He was hyped. When the game started, he was good. Because I think San Fran kicked that field goal first, right? No.
Yes.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
you can field goal first. Yeah.
He didn't care. He was good. Then Aaron took them down that field. Just that first touchdown, when they
That was a beautiful
systematically
drive.
just went.
It was a
boom,
really good
boom. It was a nice drive. It was boom, clinical, surgical, bing bang boom boom, touchdown Jets. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh boy, Roz is celebrating. I'm like, oh man, this could go bad for me tonight. Because if Aaron is Aaron, woo. Rod celebrating. We was talking about it. We laughed at the fact that the Jets hadn't had a first quarter touchdown, and God knows how long.
That was like the first time the Jets have scored a touchdown inside the 5-yard line in like 3 years.
It was wild times. Roz proclaimed Garrett Wilson was going to have a 2,000-yard receiving season.
Shit, he still might.
He said Brees was going to be comeback player of the year. I was like, yeah, Roz
He
is
should have won last year.
Roz is on one tonight. Talking about and then the Niners got the ball, and he was like, yes, here we go. Finally, my defense can play with a lead and they can pin their ears back and just go. And boy, oh boy, did San Francisco say, and the fun part for me for that game was it was death by a million stabs. Like it wasn't.
Oh yeah, it was terrible.
It wasn't like San Fran just went on a blitz. They just body punch.
They ball controlled. They had literally double the amount of control of possession, and they did the smart thing when they got the ball with 6 minutes left in the second quarter before halftime, and they got the ball back where they just ran clock. They literally, the Jets literally didn't get another possession until like 8 minutes in the third quarter.
And the cherry on top was they scored both of those. So it was like, whoo. Jets were, oh man. And I could feel it, Raj, just falling into it, just getting upset. then the turnovers. Then
that interception was incredible. That was one of those same old Jet interceptions where it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
That pick was bad. That pick had Roz in his feelings.
But he wasn't going to shit on Rodgers the way he shit on anybody else who threw a pick.
Well, I mean, I don't think that pick was Rodgers' fault. That's not like...
No, I don't. It was just one of those immaculate things that happen when
like
everything goes wrong.
Perfectly popped in the air right to him. Like, all right, I'm not going to sit here and say, Aaron, throw it better. Like, all right.
It was just a snowball effect of all the bad shit. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong. Because you have the Brees fumble before that.
The Brees fumble was bad.
That one pissed me off because it's just like, what are we doing?
And
Brees also doesn't fumble.
He doesn't.
So that's
Debo fumbling, but not fumbling into the end zone. Because that was also crazy. And so after week 1, I asked Roz, well, how do you feel? Those of you that was with us on our season premiere, remember, if you don't remember, I have it here because I wrote it down because
I'm glad.
I was quite stunned when Roz proclaimed, and I will read it to you now. Robert Saleh will be the coach of the year. Those of you that was
Oh,
with us, if you
you
remember,
lose.
I laughed when Roz said that because I knew that there was no way that Roz could stick with that. What was it about the end of the third when Roz
Third
had had
quarter.
enough?
Third quarter.
End of the third quarter, Roz had already started calling for Saleh's head. And by the time the game ended, Roz was full on. He can't coach. He's terrible. I mean, like an instant replay. I mean, didn't he do this week one last year too? With
He
them?
did do this. I'm pretty
We
sure
won,
he did.
but we
No,
won
they
week one
won. No,
last
y'all won
year.
the Buffalo, right? Y'all
And
beat Buffalo.
we
It
beat
was
Buffalo, and he still was calling for Saleh's job.
he didn't like. Yeah, he didn't like the way it was going, and then just calling for his head. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what started the level 4 argument between Dylan and Roz, which, by the way, started on Robert Saleh and somehow ended with you know what? I don't even remember what y'all swerved that goalpost and
Oh, it wasn't me.
warped it. You had to play it in. Warped that goalpost into. But just know, like, predictions and food. I don't even.
All
care.
I want to know, because he just kept on talking about how shitty Robert Saleh was, if he thought the Jets were going to have a losing season or not, based on what we know about Robert Saleh as a coach. And he wouldn't answer me. He wouldn't answer me. Luckily for us, I already know what he thinks. He thinks the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. So sit down and shut the fuck up.
Not only does he
enjoy
think
the
the Jets are
ride.
going to the Super Bowl, he thinks the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl.
You think the Jets are going to win the Super Bowl? Aaron Rodgers is going to win MVP. Saleh's going to win Coach of the Year. But you can't tell me that you don't think the Jets are going to have a losing season after week one. Okay, friend. Okay. It was like watching the debate last night, just living it. Just like I said, the Orange Man.
All I could think of last night was this. I could not wait to come in here for this meme.
All I know is that is still in play because I'm glad Squidward's pointing at Anthony. So can you put him back up? Because boy, do I have a player for you. He's a really good pass rusher. He's got double-digit sacks in each of the last 3.5 years or so. His name is Hassan Reddick. Y'all stink, so it could definitely benefit us both to do so.
Oh, God. I mean, honestly, listen, the way y'all play, y'all can use Hassan.
Reddick wouldn't have done a fucking thing in this game.
Oh,
I
no?
promise
Really?
you that. No.
Really, Dylan?
The way they were running the football, nope. Nobody was getting there. Nobody was getting there. I can promise you that. The way that game went, everything that could go wrong would go wrong. And Hassan not being in football shape probably would have tore his ACL in that game. And then I'd be sitting here like, great. Now I really don't have Hassan Reddick. And it would have been terrible.
So what are you guys doing? He's just accruing all these fines. Is that like what, $5 million right now? Like,
and he's gonna be paying. He's gonna be owing another $800,000 next week.
So then, what's the end goal with this man? Like,
he's gonna get traded. That's what's gonna happen. He's either gonna show up and get all of his fine money back to him, because what's gonna happen is if he shows up to One Jets Drive, he's gonna get his rework contract, and he's not gonna have to pay a dime in fines. He's gonna get all that money back. I promise you that. That's what's going to be the thing, because that's going to be the.
Does that make sense?
Does it make sense? No. But that's what's going to happen because that's what he's going to say. He's going to say, well, here's what's going to happen. I want my contract, but I also want all my fine money back. So he won't get the training camp money.
And the Jets are going to give it to him.
Yeah, because all they want to do is have him show up. That's all they want. Joe Douglas has said many times, I'm not going to negotiate unless he's in the building. And he's going to get exactly what he wants.
All of this, puffing out your chest. San Francisco ran the ball down your throat because Joe Douglas wants to play tough.
Again,
his pride is hurt.
Hassan Reddick wouldn't have changed the outcome of this game.
So what happened?
So you telling me he wouldn't have helped?
Helping and changing the outcome are completely different, right? Would he have gotten a sack? I don't know. Probably not.
He could have gotten some pressure. Could have gotten a sack.
But we got pressure. That's the thing. The Jets got pressure. If you take a look at the pressure percentage,
it wasn't enough pressure.
If you take a look at the pressure percent on the Niners offensive line, they performed. I sent it to the group chat. They performed in like the mid 20s in pressure allowed.
Which is amazing.
The problem is the ball's gone.
Trent Williams didn't give up anything.
No, he did not. But he did get blown the fuck back a few times. But
he did. I did see that.
Exactly. Mike's gonna sit here trying to say he didn't. He
did. No, he did. I seen Trent get blown back a few times during that game.
But they didn't give up anything. And it's like, okay, pressure is not a sack. Understand that. But the offensive line gave up a ton of pressures.
But I do see you guys
gone.
33 dropbacks.
I do think you guys have a much easier time next week, though.
I think so too. I think it's be a significantly easier time next week because that offensive line in Tennessee is cockapoo. Right, Mike?
It is not good.
So it's like I'm not too worried about that. It is like what's going to happen is going to happen. It is what it is. All
Jets are going to just run us over. Yeah, Jets are just going to run us over.
I mean, we're not the we lost to them.
They're just going to run us over.
I'm really looking forward to that game.
Gatorade on that, Mike?
Yeah, I'm mad y'all didn't bet nothing on this game.
2 packs of Gatorade.
That is so disappointing.
Well,
2 packs of Gatorade.
We'll see.
No.
Come on, man. You got to bet something on this shit. Well, come on, man.
So I was waiting. I thought that Rods was going to be here. But we have breaking news. Me and Roz will be in attendance for this game.
And y'all didn't tell me? You motherfucker! No way! You guys are grade A assholes. I would have gone.
Yo!
No
I'm weak.
fucking way, Michael. No way.
So yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's the thing.
We have an asshole among us. We have an asshole. He said, "You know what? I do a podcast with 2 guys I consider friends. One of them is one of my best friends. One of them is Dylan. I want to go to the Jet game with my best friend and not even invite or ask if he wants to come and be there with us." Fuck you, Mike.
Okay. Well, okay, cool.
No, fuck you. Fuck you, Mike. You didn't think at all that this was going to be...
Listen, you already got promised a Jet game.
Eventually. Eventually.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, there could be. So I don't know if me and Roz are betting on this game when we get there. I don't know what's going to happen. So because of this, I cannot commit to a bet yet. But if you want to give me points, I may do that right now. What's the line?
Fuck you, that's the line.
Oh, okay.
No, let me go figure it out. I'm hurt. Pain. Not even a hey, Roz and I are going to this game. Do you want to come? Do you want to you want to buy your ticket and we'll all go?
There's still time. There's still time.
I have a family, Mike. I
Uh,
can't just up and leave my family on like 3 days notice.
Listen,
Oh, I'm leaving my family like a
if
week.
at this point, if your fiance cannot take care of them kids for 48
That's
hours,
not what it's about.
if she can't take care of them kids for 48 hours, I don't know what to tell you.
That's not what it's about. Because I could have planned with her to take Sunday off because I wouldn't be here.
Oh, she has to work Sunday.
Yes.
Oh, well. Listen,
I know my kids are grown.
Get Anthony to babysit.
Anthony, no. No. What are we doing? The line is 3.5, Mike.
3.5?
Mike, what did you say?
He said to have you watch my kids.
Watch Dylan's kids so he can come to Tennessee.
Anthony's going to give my kids fucking processed frozen food loaded with carcinogens.
And they're going to eat it too. They're going to like it. Shit.
No seasoning, Dylan. It's either no seasoning, Dylan, or just tons of salt.
I'm gonna come back home and Jaden has fucking cankles because of the sodium makes his fucking feet well. Like he's got gout. Andy, you gave my son the gout?
Oh.
No, but I do think, in all seriousness, I think it's gonna be a really good game first. I think it's gonna be closer than we think.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Mike's not gonna have a good time.
I'm gonna have a good time for about a half.
Yeah, and it won't be the second half.
I will have a good time.
Fine, we won't. I'll take -3.5, Mike.
No, not a pack. Singles.
How many singles?
3.5. 2.
I'm not going to fight you because I'm going to ask for more and you're going to tell me no. So I'll take 2.
2.
I'll take 2. 2 Gatorades on -3.5.
All right. I just need us to keep it close, and I think we can keep it close.
I'll put it like this. I mean, if you guys manage to somehow beat the Jets, then next week you guys have a Green Bay team with no Jordan Love.
Good spot.
If we beat the Jets, Dylan probably shouldn't be here next week.
I'll be here. I don't run.
The argument that will ensue between you and Roz in the chat. Oh Lord.
Oh, the
That's
celebration.
what I fear nothing more than for Jet games because of I know for a fact Roz and I are gonna fight.
It seems like this is gonna be the trend this year.
This is a trend everywhere.
Because if that was week 1, if that was week 1, boy,
I'm just like, me and James was just like sitting, just chilling. Hey, this is the first fucking game. And I just see this whole section of the fight where just Dylan's just getting on roster, just dodging questions. And that's it.
It's like you've read this story before.
I have.
Anthony, just imagine what happens if they lose a division game. Oh my goodness! Because
almost like
there's nothing that bothers Roz more than losing division games.
God, I watch that lose to the Patriots so bad. Oh my God,
Anthony! The more time goes by, the more I want them to lose to the Patriots.
Put something up or shut up.
But man,
I'm gonna make a bet.
I am not that dumb, Dylan. I am not betting.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking to the guy who keeps saying it. He says it every other day. He says it, and
the Pats are pretty good in Cincinnati.
No, they didn't. That's the problem. No, they didn't. They played an ugly football game.
Wait, so Stevenson didn't ball out?
ball out. He did.
Yeah,
he played well, but the Pats as a team,
game.
they played an ugly.
Yeah, really good.
They won.
They played a fucking ugly football
And
game.
guess what, Dylan? That's their style. That's what they need to do.
We don't
They
know
need to
if
play
that's
ugly.
their style because that's all we know right now.
Pittsburgh played an ugly game too, but guess what? It worked.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked.
Pittsburgh has a ton of talent, though. That's the difference. They have a ton of talent, and they had Justin Fields, who didn't have a single target across the middle of the field all game.
Coach to your strengths. Stop trying
Yep.
to coach to scheme. Coach to your strength.
Listen,
When
who do the Patriots play this week?
I don't know.
Seahawks out, I believe. Yeah, Seattle out.
Well, let's see. Let's see how they look against a more competent.
Seattle's got to come across the country.
They got to play a more competent football.
And let's not get behind the Seahawks. We beat up on the Broncos. Right?
So wait, Cincinnati's not a competent team?
Cincinnati's defense is fucking dog shit.
Did
They lost
Joe Burrow
everybody.
play?
Yes, Joe Burrow played, but what happened with all the good plays on that Bengal team? What happened? They either got called back, dropped, or fumbled. It was a perfect start. It's the same way the Patriots won the same way the fucking Bears won. Everything that could go wrong went wrong. Because, Mike, did the Bears outplay you guys?
No.
What had to happen for the Bears to win that game?
Stupid shit.
What happened for the Patriots to win that game? Stupid shit. So, we can't look one way at one thing and then look at the same shit in another one and say, nah, one's stupid shit, one's not.
All I know, Dylan, is 1 down, 5 to go for that 6-game prediction for Roz.
Listen, that might be a great one if they do it, but
1 down, 5 to go.
but
9 to go for you. And Dante, how many states they were going to win?
I had them at 11-6.
no,
11. 1 down, 10 to
Patriots
go.
and Jets.
No, the Jets. No, hell no, the Patriots. No, I had the Jets at 11.
All right, just have to give you breaking news at the time of this recording. Yankees win in 11.
Oh, okay.
Jazz Chisholm
Okay.
with a walk-off single.
I
love
thought he
it.
was going to do breaking news. My
I'm flying
tickets for this
first.
Jet game in Tennessee are officially bought.
I'm flying first class.
Fuck you, Mike.
Oh. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
The Yankees.
Just wanted to throw that in there. Don't worry, guys. We will be here for the misery for Yankees playoffs. Me and Dylan, you will watch me and Dylan crash out in real time like we do every year. Apparently, it is quite hilarious watching me. The Yankees, they're the only team that makes me crash. Well, no, I was pretty upset with the Knicks. Y'all just didn't get to see the Knicks. Well, the Knicks didn't bother me because it was inevitable because the team fell apart. The Yankees bother me when they lose a lot.
The
I was
Yankees
mad.
don't bother
I was
me when
mad
they
on
lose.
Sunday.
They bother me with how they lose.
That too. Boone
That's how
bothered
they
me
bother
last
me.
year. Boone
Because I'll
bothered me
crash
last-
out for the Yankees. Depending on the Jet game, I crash out. Like that's another one of those things where it's when it's how we lose. That's when it's like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, I crashed out Sunday for that Titans game.
You should have.
I don't blame you.
I
Don't
was-
blame
This guy should have crashed out too.
I was upset
you.
after that Titans game. I had to.
I was at the bar. I was pissed off. I was pissed the fuck
I mean,
off.
you should have been because y'all got punched.
I was mad as shit. I don't care what nobody says. First
Not
off,
only did y'all
fucking
get punched in the face, then y'all lost composure and starting fights. I was like, oh,
well, Josh Palmer's a bitch, but that's another conversation. Here's my thing. Here's what infuriated me. Antonio Pierce, 4th and 1. We're right there. He decides to go for a punt. And I'm like, okay, you dumb fuck. We need to score. So he gives it back to the Chargers. And fucking, I think it's Dobbins. He goes on like a 67-yard line. And then what's his name? who's that receiver again? Just absolutely torched us the whole game too, as well. It was.
Is it a nice
so,
white boy named Lad?
Yeah, Lad McConkey. Yeah, he fucking torched us. Him and Dobbins just absolutely torched us. It was just so bad. And then,
who was one on that Chargers team?
And then because it's Raiders Chargers, Khalil Mack is going to show up, and he's going to do what he always does, which is fucking play like he's a Hall of Famer against us all the time. So, especially against us, yeah.
He was a Hall of Famer and against y'all.
Fuck all that. I don't care. Gardner Minshew left quite a bit to be desired.
Really?
He wasn't. No, he made some. No, he had some good. He made some good throws.
Great throws in that game, though.
But no, he did. He did.
Experience. Gardner Minshew is Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's probably the best comparison I can make, because Ryan Fitzpatrick will fool you into thinking how awesome he is, just like Gardner Minshew does. But then he goes from Fitzmagic to Fitztragic, and he just throws the fucking game away.
I've never thought he was great.
Who?
Fitzpatrick?
Minshew
has it's like
I never thought Ryan Fitzpatrick was great.
Never thought
he's very up and down,
but he had moments.
He's just
the roller coaster.
Yeah, he has moments. Like, there were moments during the game where he was like, "Okay, shoot, that's a good roll game." Okay, see, then there's other players where it's like, oh,
the problem is you don't have anybody better. That's the real problem here.
I don't know. Like, are you telling me if I throw in Aiden O'Connell, we don't score more than 10 points? Like, it's like.
Yeah,
it's stuff like that where. But we also seen it. O'Connell drop 63 on the Chargers.
That is what you call an outlier.
Yeah, four touchdown passes in the first half.
You call that an outlier? I watched Zach Wilson throw 300 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Houston Texans. I watched Zach Wilson charge down the field in overtime and beat the Titans.
Yeah, brother.
These are all things that I've seen, and it's just like you could still be bad while having these flashes. Like that Chiefs game last year. Zach didn't look bad. He looked really good that Chiefs game. Doesn't mean he doesn't stink.
But again, we are a little bit banged up, but I do see where we can improve and get better. Huh?
Where?
Our defense is not that helpful.
Where?
Our line.
Your defensive line?
Yes, our line is banged up.
The best players
Tyree Wilson, I don't even know how many games that man's going to miss. His knee is fucked up.
He stinks anyways.
But again,
what are we doing?
No, but at the end of the day, like this was
Hassan Reddick. I have a defensive player for you.
What's your obsession with giving us Hassan Reddick?
Davante Adams.
I know. I know why. He wants
a good deal. I want to give you a good.
This man has been pleading for Davante Adams for the past 3 months, man.
Mike, put up the jet. Put up Squidward.
That man came out in a press conference and said he is a Raider. He is a Raider.
He is literally a Raider right now. He is a Raider. He is not anything else.
He is not.
I'm pretty sure if he comes out and he says, I want to be traded to the Jets, he would get in a lot of fucking trouble.
He wants to remain a Raider. He wants to stay a Raider.
So let me ask you a question, Mike, and then we can move on. Why would Davante Adams want to remain a Raider when all the Raiders have done since he's been there is fuck with him? He goes to the Raiders to go play with his best friend and college quarterback, Derek Carr. The very next year, they get rid of Derek Carr. He goes in there, Jimmy Garoppolo goes in.
That was Josh McDaniels who fucked with him. That was not Antonio Pierce.
Davante Adams murdered. He literally sent Davante Adams to the hospital a few times. Got him murdered. Took probably 2 years off of his career. Goes in there. Then he starts to fuck with AOC a little bit. Oh yeah, AOC's my guy. And then Antonio Pierce is like, ha, he's your guy? No, the fuck he's not. Gardner Minshew's your guy. And here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get you a couple more catches that you normally would have gotten in the game, but you're still gonna get waxed. So all we're doing is pissing Devontae Adams off, wasting. He's at the twilight of his career. He's only got maybe 3 good years left in his career, and he's gonna be sitting here fucking beating a loser. Nah.
It's on to Baltimore. It's on to Baltimore.
Oh, they gotta play this angry Raider team, right, Mike?
Yeah. So, are you still on that, Anthony? That you think y'all are gonna win? Okay.
Yeah, silence.
Listen, upsets happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
No. That's not what we asked. That's not what we asked.
Huh?
Do you think they're gonna win?
Upsets happen.
Do you think they're going to win? Yes or no?
Upsets happen.
So, moving on. What do we? I just have one more. Well, what's our biggest takeaway from week 1? We can do that.
What's up?
The biggest takeaway from week 1, because my biggest takeaway from week 1 is, boy, oh boy, do those Niners still look like they have it.
Yeah.
all the off-season drama, all the everything. Them boys look good. Real good.
Outside of that, because that was one of mine. The Lions are scary. The Lions upgrading their secondary, which for 2 years I was sitting here saying that room is cock-a-poo-poo, and they came in there, and Carlton Davis and the other dude they picked up balled the fuck out. Like, they played real good. Real good. And when that back end can cover and you got time for Aiden Hutchinson to go in there and make plays, it's scary. Granted, that Rams team is also really fucking good too. Like,
Rams, that's why it was an impressive win.
Granted, Cooper was out for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
It's almost like I said, getting that Cooper Cup. Getting the Cooper Cup pick in fantasy, I was like, that's a great one. That's a great one. And look at that. It looks even better now. It looks even better now.
Well, look like the Super Bowl Rams all over again. Look like Triple Crown Cup all over again.
Mm-hmm. So the Rams are good. Lions good. That Sunday night game was great, except for the fact that it went on like 45 minutes too long, and Steve and I were up to like 1:30. We love overtime football. Change the rules of college overtime. I'm sick of the NFL overtime.
I don't like the college overtime though.
I love the college overtime.
It's fun when it's college, when it's kids, but
when it turns into everybody's on the 20. All right, everybody's on the 10. Everybody's on the goal line. Everything is now a 2-point conversion. You better fucking convert. And everybody gets a shot.
In the NFL, we could be here all night.
Or you don't. And it's a tie.
Tie? No, we can't do
a tie. I mean, we have ties now. Ties happen.
In a regular season, yes.
The playoffs, you can't end in a tie. No, that's silly. But you time the periods, and you just go.
Honestly, for me, I don't like to make, big proclamations typically after 1 week of football, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I think the clock is really ticking on Deshaun Watson. Like, I really think it's getting to that point where it's like, this ain't gonna work for him. He played off.
Deshaun Watson is approaching Karl Malone territory for me, where I kind of don't want to talk about him anymore because he's a bad human, and he keeps getting worse.
He does not seem to be a good human. Did you guys get any clarification? So is this like this just happened, or is this from 2020 still?
A few years
No.
ago.
Yeah, it was he was like on a date with a girl in 2020, October 2020.
So That to me, I'm not gonna go. I mean, it's still wrong. It's still, but he may have rehabbed and changed, like he said. Just because this is coming up now, you don't. He could be a different human now. That's why I wanted
Could
to know, because
be.
if this was something that happened like 6 months ago, just throw the whole person away.
Yeah, but you go from having all those allegations that he had to now this one, which is unrelated to those.
But we knew he did it.
Because, but here's the problem.
It's different because it's a different allegation.
It is a different allegation, but the thing is, it's also another allegation. The thing is, it's one thing if you're just being marked by all these allegations, and then also you're just not doing it on the field either. So it's just a double negative at that point. Like,
so Anthony, I'm glad you brought that up, because my Wendy conspiracy hat was put on by ESPN this week.
Oh,
When I found out that the Browns have a clause in his contract that kicks in for this season if he gets if he gets in trouble, they can void the rest of his contract without penalty.
so you're saying he's being set up by the Browns?
I didn't say that.
No, but that's so let me show you my conspiracy now. Let me show you my conspiracy. This is not victim blaming or anything like that. I thought for a while the Texans were setting up Deshaun because he requested a trade. And the attorney that was representing all those girls was an attorney that the owner of the Texans was using.
So that's why I'm, like I said, I'm not trying to victim, but it's awfully convenient that the Browns have a clause that after the first 2 seasons, which we have now passed, if he gets in trouble in said third season, they can just void the contract. And it's convenient that, like you said, Anthony, Deshaun has not been playing well, and the Browns are in win now mode. And it would be really good for them to get up out of that money. So him not playing well, and then now him not playing well again, and then conveniently the next day, another allegation is another lawsuit on him from 4 years ago. This girl waited 4 years in one game to listen. I'm not victim. I'm just saying.
Somebody on Twitter said that Deshaun Watson might be a better person than he is a football player at this point.
He might be. Now that is a whole fact.
Wow, that is quite a statement.
It's a wild thing to say, but it's like,
that's a very wild thing.
How far is it?
Exactly. But again, he was fucking brutal.
He was not good. But listen, this is the same Deshaun. Do you remember last year when Anthony was talking about Deshaun Watson?
I mean, I had him as MVP last year. I thought he was going to break out. I quickly realized that was wrong.
Yeah, and he can't stay healthy either. So
yeah, he had like shoulder surgery at the end of the season last year.
Mm-hmm. So he's in a tough spot. That Browns team's in a weird spot too.
And the Joker's injured. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks. That doesn't help him.
Yeah, with Deshaun Watson being as bad as he is at football, I think I have the Browns going to the playoffs. Definitely doesn't.
I think homeboy was calling for Jameis Winston.
Listen, anything would have been better than Deshaun Watson at that point.
Yeah, he did not play well against the Cowboys.
Like, at least Jameis would have taken a bunch of shots. He might have thrown like 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, but he would have taken shots. He would have gave them the hope that they were in the game and then taken the hope away. It's more than what Watson was doing. The crowd had no hope with what Watson was doing. Watson ran and let them sack him outside of the pocket at the line of scrimmage, them throwing the ball away. Jameis would have at least thrown to triple coverage. Like, what are we doing?
So after week 1, who are you most concerned about?
Oof. It's
only week 1. Things can change, so we won't hold this to you too badly?
The Steelers.
Really? Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Care to elaborate?
I don't. So let me preface this with, when I say players stink, I think they stink right now, right? It's not a matter of what their upside is or anything like that, because I think Justin Fields right now stinks. Do I think Justin Fields could be an elite quarterback one day? Yes. But that day is not right now. So I can only go based off of what he does right now. The quarterback play that the Steelers have, like, I understand Russ has to play and he will start when he comes back. I don't think Russ is very good. And I think Fields gives them a better opportunity to be more dynamic because he is not scared to run. Russ won't run. But Russ also will take the shots at the middle of the field that Fields won't. Because I don't think Arthur Smith wants Fields throwing the ball at the middle, because he tends to throw a fastball. And those are likely to get tipped and picked. So I think they have to run two different offenses when they're there. One predicated straight up on the athleticism of Fields and hopefully guys get open on the outside. And then the other one is, hey, try to keep the line up because Russ is going to move and we're going to try to nickel and dime if he can even pull the trigger, because he second guesses himself now. So the quarterback play of the Steelers is very concerning to me, and it could possibly lead to like Tomlin's first losing season, which sucks because they have the defense. I think they have the defense in football.
Which is why I think that you're wrong. I saw Arthur Smith,
who's also a terrible play caller, by the way,
take Ryan Tannehill to a number 1 seed.
Yeah, but you also had Derrick Henry.
So the Steelers don't have a Hulk, but their defense is significantly better than the Titans' defense was.
They have a wide.
And that's
this
the
team
trade-off.
has the potential to be last year's Jet team.
See, I think Russ makes them good enough to. I think Russ is going to win them a lot of games because Russ is not going to make the stupid mistakes that Justin Fields would make. Just like you said, Russ is going to get that ball over the middle to that big tight end on 3rd and 7
if he pulls
every
the trigger.
time.
If he,
I'm going to assume he can pull the trigger.
Because last year the reason why Peyton fucking hated him was because he wouldn't pull the trigger.
Peyton hated him just because Peyton hated him. Like
his play didn't help.
I disagree with that. I really disagree with that. He did not. All of that drama did not happen. They did not bench him because he was playing bad. They benched him.
No. I'm not saying that. I think, I think it's very true that Peyton hated him off rip. I don't think his play helped him either, because I don't think Russ was very good at all last year. His numbers say he was okay. I don't think he was very good.
I disagree. I thought Russ played very well last year, and that Denver team was trending up until they decided to put money before team and decided to blow the season up. I think that team might have been able to sneak. If not sneak in, they would have finished right where Pittsburgh was. They would have been right where Pittsburgh was.
We'll see. I don't
and Russ was playing well. So that's what this narrative that Russ stinks and Russ was playing well. He didn't get benched because he wasn't playing well. He got benched for money.
That.
But
I'm saying he wasn't playing great. They just didn't have a better option.
The public perception is that he got kicked out of Denver because he wasn't playing well.
No.
Out of Denver because
I don't think that's public perception at all, especially because the news came out that why he benched him. I don't think public perception is that at all. I think the only reason Russ was even playing was because they really didn't have a better option. If they had a better option or a decent backup, he wouldn't have played.
To start, but he played well.
I think based on
plays
what we saw
he did last year for this Pittsburgh team, Pittsburgh's going to win 10 games.
I disagree. Because if I had to put a grade on what Russ was last year, to me, after watching him play and then looking at the numbers would skew you, but I thought he was C+.
I don't know.
Because I watched too many times him just not be able to pull the trigger and then check down instead. Guys open in the middle of the field, check down instead. Throw the ball in the dirt. Miss guy. Not throw to Courtland Sutton, even though Courtland Sutton in the red zone had one of the highest catch percentages in the NFL. Just miss him or not throw it to him. So there's a lot of problems I have there, and I feel like George Pickens is going to fight somebody. He's the volatile piece here. That boy a diva. That boy a diva in every sense of the word.
If Russ gives them B- B football, they're going to win 10 games.
He got to prove to me he can play B football before I say anything.
All he got to do is play like Aaron Rodgers did last night on Monday.
Can he do that?
I think he can.
We're going off of potential, but I'm going based off of like what I've seen.
Potential. I'm going off of what I saw last year.
And again, what you saw, what I saw, sounded to be completely different. Where I just don't think he's very good anymore.
We'll see.
He's definitely not Seattle Russ anymore. Definitely not that.
No. If he was Seattle Russ, Pittsburgh would win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen him do it with less.
But I mean, Russ still had a pretty good season. He like, what, 26 touchdown passes?
Statistically, he had a good season. But when you look at how he played, a lot of those numbers came in different. Yeah, if we're going to add context to how he played and when they scored.
I always add context.
No, you don't, because you're not adding in the actual watching him play part.
I did watch him play, though.
And that's why I'm like, those numbers are kind of misleading because he wasn't really that good. He was part of a lot of, remember the first half that Broncos team had? The first half of the season they had when they were fucking terrible?
Mm-hmm.
They were scoring points.
They were scoring.
In garbage time. Remember that 72-point Dolphin game?
Yeah.
They ended up scoring like 40 points that game, did they not?
They scored like 30-something.
Yeah, they still scored 30 points.
Did he give up 72 points?
I'm not blaming him for them losing those games. I'm blaming him for how the offense was run because they weren't in the game in the points where they needed to. They weren't matching the scoring that the Dolphins were doing. Granted, they scored 70-something points. They scored
70 points. Because to that,
but like in the fourth quarter, like
do you blame Dak for the Packers' loss in the playoffs?
I'm not blaming for the I'm talking about when they were playing bad. Right? When that first half, Russ was scoring points at the end of the game when the games are over. The Dolphins put up Mike White, and Mike White threw a 65-yard touchdown pass to Robbie Chosen. And when they were up by like 4 scores. So it's like they were scoring at the end of the game. Like when these games don't matter. So it's like, yeah, sure, he threw 20-something touchdowns. How many of those touchdowns came when the game was out of reach?
But were they not playing better before he got benched? I believe they was on a 3-game win streak, a 3 or 4 game win streak when he got benched.
No, but they were. But my problem
is... And they were scoring points then.
They were. But again, when you look back at the 20-something touchdowns, how many of those touchdowns came when the game was already done? That's why it's like those numbers may seem good, but when you look at where they come from, you're like, oh. So they were already out of that game, and he threw 3 touchdowns. And they were already out of that game, and he threw this many touchdowns. And then they were already out of that one. Because that Jet game is a good one as well, where he threw a couple touchdowns, a touchdown at the end of the game to fucking Samaje Perine when the game was already over. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. There's another one. And we're gonna do a fucking game.
Russ gives them B football. They're gonna win 10. So whose injury are you more concerned about? Joe Burrow, who Dylan thinks may be compromised, or Josh Allen, who
you saw how you picked up that water bottle,
or Josh Allen, who may be compromised because he was squeezing that thumb. He's got a thumb injury apparently.
No, they said it was fine. It was cleared. Said it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
Plus, it's not. It's not throwing it. It's not like Burrow where it's fucking. He's over here still stretching his wrist, and he's like, "Oh my god."
The problem with the Allen injury is he's a runner. That's the problem with the Allen injury.
That's how he's a runner.
Hurt. You can't, like, you're not worried about it. If he was a pocket quarterback, you're like, whatever, I can live with him taking a couple hits. Like, I could do X, Y, and Z. He's a runner. He has his hands on the ball. Like, his hand is going to get hit. That's a problem. The bigger injury is the Burrow injury.
Yeah.
Hands down. If that man can't grip a football, he can't play football. That's literally it. So the Burrow injury could be tragic because nobody knows enough about this injury, and it could potentially be a career ender. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's a big injury, like a really big injury. The Josh Allen injury is kind of just like weird because is that going to stop him from playing his style of football? Because if Josh Allen doesn't run, Josh Allen is not Josh Allen.
He's not. He can beat you with his arm though.
He can. But the reason they beat the Cardinals was because Josh Allen ran it in twice.
Yes.
He wasn't beating anybody with his arm in that game. I'm not gonna say not as a whole because it's wild rude. But
didn't he throw 2 touchdown passes?
No, I thought he only threw 1.
He threw 2.
He beat the Cardinals by himself.
Yeah, he ran 2 touchdowns in. Because
he beat the Cardinals by himself.
Yeah. Those wide receivers, like, was it? He threw one to Shaheed.
Although Cook played well. I mean, Cook played well.
Cook played well. They just didn't.
Cook played well. They
use
didn't
him
give
enough.
him the ball. Yeah, they didn't give him.
They didn't give him the ball enough. They kept.
I bet you he gonna get the ball
does this
now.
Fucking thing every year where they decide not to use their fucking running back at the start of the year, and they're like, "Oh, Josh Allen's our running back. I forgot."
And then they get to the end of the year, and they're like, "Man, we need to stop giving Josh the ball." So, there's a running back.
Oh, here's James Cook, only finished 3rd in the NFL in yards from scrimmage last year.
Yeah, Buffalo has a problem.
Fucking idiots. But yeah, if Josh Allen can't play Josh Allen football, he's not Superman.
If he's not Superman, then Buffalo can't make the playoffs.
Buffalo doesn't sniff 7. It would barely sniff 7 if he's not Superman. He's just Clark Kent.
He's just a tall guy.
He's just a tall boy who wants to run. I don't know what the actual injury is. All I know is it's his hand. But if he breaks that hand, he can't play.
Mm-hmm.
And you know damn well they're going to be punching and face masks all into that.
Yeah.
Especially because he usually runs ball in his left hand.
He's going to be in hell the next couple weeks.
Yeah, he might fuck it up and just keep trying to play hurt and hurt himself and the team. Where Burrow, you could probably just end their season now if he can't fucking throw the football. He can't throw the football and the defense can't stop a fucking nosebleed. It's like, okay, like, what are we doing here? So it's unfortunate.
So that wasn't all that happened in week 1. NFL, first Sunday of the season, got off to a crazy. Oh, shout out to the Eagles too, by the way, because Dylan ain't gonna tell you how good the Eagles were, but the Eagles,
how good Saquon was? Yeah,
Eagles were damn good. Everybody was good except Josh Allen. Everybody was good except Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts played like shit.
Everybody was.
He didn't play like shit, but he wasn't.
He threw 2 picks and could have thrown 3 more. If those Eagles wide receivers weren't also great DBs, he would have thrown 5 interceptions that game.
Jalen Hurts had a very mediocre game.
Yeah, he'll be, like I said, he'll be working on a fucking Wawa soon. Look out. Look out for it.
He'll be at Wawa holding up that Lombardi trophy. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, yeah? 10 wheel spins.
This
I
makes sense.
picked a different team to win the championship.
Exactly. Then shut the fuck up about a Lombardi and a Wawa. Shut about Lombardi and a Wawa.
I have the Eagles in the NFC Championship, though.
Good for you, man.
And I feel fine about it. But them dirty birds, both in the AFC and the NFC, gonna have something to say.
Good shit to Jordan Love for avoiding a major injury for his knee.
The NFL deserved for him to get hurt worse because those playing conditions were ridiculous.
That field was dog shit.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, players are slipping all over the place and shit.
Like, I that was terrible.
I
feel bad for the players because that was terrible.
I have an idea. You tell me if this is a good idea. Opening week football, week 1, we keep in the United States. Maybe we don't send a team to Brazil on week 1. And we keep them here to play on their field. And then we try again later with like bad teams. That's why forever we would send the bad teams to London.
Jaguars.
I think
every year.
The next international game, I believe it's Giants and Panthers.
It's Giants, Panthers, or it's us Vikings.
See, that's not a bad game. You guys in the Vikings, that's not a bad game.
That has potential to go left, but
I'm not giving Sam Darnold enough credit.
There's a certain guy that plays quarterback for the Jets that owns these NFC North franchises. God, I wish the Jets played the Bears. I would love to see how Rodgers would do with the Bears, so he can just keep talking shit, especially because that place hates him. Fucking hates him.
Yes,
two teams Rodgers gonna beat. It's the Cowboys and it's the Bears.
Every single time, too. Bank on it.
Death taxes. Rodgers beats Cowboys. Rodgers beats Bears.
But we woke up Sunday with news. I don't know what time you guys get up. I mean, I was up, but like I was scrolling and I didn't turn the TV on until like 10:30, 11, probably when I was up. Soon as I turned the TV on, breaking news, Tyreek Hill has been arrested. And I'm like, what? Whoa,
yeah.
What?
That shit was wild.
And just the stories and everything coming out, it was just like Tyreek got arrested outside the stadium. He got put in handcuffs, and then all we saw was civilian videos, and all we saw was Tyreek face down in handcuffs. We was like, wow, what happened? What did Tyreek do? What is going on here? Then as the day went on, and I found out, Calais Campbell also was put in handcuffs. I was like, wait, you pulled over to help him, and
man.
You ended up in handcuffs too? What is happening? Then find out before the Dolphins had the 1:00 game, before the game was over, that officer right there that you're going to see do this was placed on administrative leave.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I was like, man, Drew Rosenhaus got some power to get that dude suspended already. Then we get this video, the body cam video, and we're not playing the audio because it's a lot. It's a lot. As you're looking right now, it's just a lot. Even looking, this man has his knee in Tyreek's spine, just like. All Tyreek did was tell him, "Don't bang on my window, bruh." 4 times, 3 times.
Yeah, he was a little aggressive, but like nothing warrants this. Nothing that Tyreek did warrants this at all.
Nothing Tyreek did warrant him having to get out of the car.
Exactly. But
Nothing
here we
did
are.
want to get out the car. As you saw, they pulled him out of the car. Now he's talking to this officer. He's telling him to sit. Tyreek right here is telling him, I had surgery on my knee. And this other cop comes in. Tackle may be strong, but essentially forcibly brings him down. Here's his teammates just trying to go, hey, what's going on? And this just went so left. And it's crazy. It's cool. We can look at it and just be like, this is wild. This really could have been a tragedy. Like,
it really could have.
This
It could have
really was close to being a tragedy. Because if we had not known who these players were and you had just blindly showed me this video, I would have been waiting for them to shoot one of them. I would have been waiting for it because it had every feeling of it. As you see right now, he's not doing anything. And all you see is the cop aggressively with the hand motions. This pointing in his face. He's trying to tell him, the other cop is telling him, y'all are contradicting your instructions. It was really disturbing for me to see. It angers me to no end. Obviously, I'm black. Anthony is black. For me, I don't know how Anthony feels. For me, Anthony will probably relate to what I'm saying. It hits differently for me because I'm 6'3". I'm bigger than most police officers. It doesn't take much for them to be, well, he's a big guy, I'm threatened by it. Like,
absolutely.
So it's triggering. It's triggering to see that for me. And just seeing that Tyreek went through, like, I'm amazed he played in the game. No, I'm not amazed he played in the game, but because he still had time. But that would have rattled me because there was just no call for that. It was just so unnecessary. And to see people defend the police in this situation,
I did see that too. I was seeing people defend it.
That's the reason that this is never going to get fixed, because for some reason we live in this society where we cannot criticize the police. There's nothing wrong in saying that those officers were wrong in acting like thugs, because they were wrong in acting like thugs. Does that mean every police officer acts like a thug? No. Like, we have to use common sense. No, nobody wants to defund the police or get rid of the police force. You just want accountability. Those officers were on a power trip. They were on a power trip. That officer was mad because Tyreek had the gall to actually talk back to him. That's what Tyreek did wrong. He had the gall to talk back. And because of it, he got slammed to the ground twice.
Just the way you opened the car and just forcibly grabbing.
Like, I get it. I get why you need Tyreek to have the window down. I understand. You can't see in the car. You don't know what he has. But at that point, when that happened, you already had his he had already given you his license. He had already given you his registration. If you had did your job, you should have asked him if there was anything in the car, which he would have told you no. We all know there was nothing in the car because he's driving to the game. I find it hard to believe that officer didn't know who he was once they took his license. So you know who he is. even if you didn't know who he is, you're profiling. You see the car that he's driving, so you like. It's terrible that we're in a place where you can still think, well, if he just complied, nothing would have happened. He did comply because he told the officer he was getting out the car. He told the officer, okay, I'm getting out. He didn't go fast enough. He told the officer he was going to sit down when he told him to sit down. He didn't go fast enough. I don't have nothing else. That's just, it's crazy that we still have to deal with this, and we still have people apologizing for this behavior. Suspend that man or fire that man. I would move along the lines of firing that man.
Is he on administrative leave? I believe
he is, and he's fighting it. And the police union has already said that they don't think he did anything wrong. He was justified. It's the term that they love to use. He was justified. So,
who's gonna police the police? Because clearly they're not gonna do it. So it sucks that this has to be one of those it is what it is situations. We've been dealing with this for far too long. And I think the only thing that saved Tyreek Hill in this instance is the fact that he is Tyreek Hill.
mm-hmm.
And that, like, even the presence of his teammates made a difference. It may have been a small difference, but it made a difference because we've seen this so many times. So many unfortunate times. And I'm sure Tyreek and his teammates, his family, I'm sure they feel lucky right now that it didn't escalate further. Because we all know it could have.
Sure felt like it was going that way. I saw I hate that an analyst on TV, because I can't remember who it was or which show it was, and I don't want to get it wrong, stating that the police's job is to de-escalate. We call them to de-escalate things. And those officers did nothing but escalate that situation. They were the aggressive ones. They were the ones dragging it out. Tyreek, honestly, was the most calm person out of everyone. His teammates, the officers, Tyreek was the most calm of all. All he kept saying was, call Drew. Call Drew. That could have been tragic if that would have been left, and that was the last thing he said.
Mike, can you play breaking news?
Oh, no. I sure can.
I'm here recording on September 11th in the year of our Lord 2024. My name is Dylan Broda. I'm with Mike Flagman. It is 11:11 p.m. on 9/11, and Shannon Sharpe has made a statement. He has made a statement.
Oh, boy. I thought you was about to say he got fired. I was about to say, oh, no. Not on your day off. What's the state? We have footage. We have footage. Oh, not Anthony.
Came in, I threw my phone on the bed, gazed at an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on, so I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off, and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he said, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now Ocho, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. That he is.
I never heard you talk like to bungee jump in like that and be able to say some of the things that you were saying. Is it?
What was I saying, Ocho? What was I saying? I ain't hear it.
You was like you gonna take this dick. Now I ain't
I'm
just saying I ain't never heard you talk like that. I ain't never heard you talk like that. Now what we do got to work on is ain't nothing wrong with your hips, but we got to work on your cardio. Because you was breathing heavy. You shouldn't be breathing that heavy. You shouldn't be breathing that heavy. So we got to work on your cardio. So
Ocho,
when you lift weights, we got to get you on the cart. Hit the
Ocho,
treadmill first.
Ocho,
do the step,
real talk,
do the
Ocho, your boy. Hey, Ocho.
Oh, oh man. Oh man.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Dylan, when you're right, you are right. You said Ocho was gonna be peak comedy tonight. Ooh.
That is fucking embarrassing.
Listen.
He said it was me being a healthy, active male. Go ahead, Unc. Go ahead, Unc.
Said exactly what you said too. Gotta hit those stairs. You just that hip. Put that hip to work.
My man said he was breathing too heavy. Oh man,
we love it. We love breaking news here.
It's for the night. Anthony, you want some breaking news that'll make you feel good? It'll agitate Dylan. As we sit here live on this wonderful 9/11 evening, Taylor Swift has won the Video of the Year again at the MTV Video Music Awards.
Let's go.
For her song of Post Malone that is mid. But hey, the video might be good. I've never seen the video, so maybe the video is really nice. But Video of the Year for Taylor Swift.
I didn't think you were going to do that breaking news. I thought you were going to do this.
Yes, Kendrick Lamar has dropped another song. And me and Dylan listened to it. And it was not bad on first listen.
No, it definitely didn't. I don't think something happened where we just didn't get the full song because there was more to that song.
Yeah, cut off weird. Cut off at a weird point. So definitely think we didn't get the full
reconvene.
Audio. But yeah, we will reconvene. Anthony, did you have anything on Tyreek Hill, or are we going to week 2?
No. I mean, personally, I feel like he handled it very professionally. Like, I was just trying to do research into just, I was even like reading some of the stuff that people were saying, like, oh, he didn't comply and all this stuff. I was trying to get a law perspective, but realistically, those people who were trying to say that, he was in the wrong, dog, he really wasn't. Like, you kind of like broke it down, and it's like, even if there's any mistake that he even made, it's like that doesn't work. The cop straight up just going into the car and just aggressively just like going at him like that, putting his V on him. Like, come on, like, all that was just OD. But I think Tyreek handled it the best he could, and also he had a nice touchdown close during the season. So
That
that's really
was
all.
funny.
Say on
That
that.
was
Yeah,
funny.
that was funny.
All right. So we have a new Anthony. I don't know if you was here, but me and Dylan have agreed. We didn't do it for week 1 because me and Dylan have terrible memory because Dylan's old and we're both old.
What? You're like
Welcome
40.
to 30, bro.
Dylan's old, guys.
It's
Dylan
crazy
is
the
old.
40-year-olds talking crazy about me
Dylan
being
is,
old.
Dylan's old, boy.
Mike, ain't your birthday later on this month?
It is. It is. I'm glad you brought that up. It's 3 days after our 100th episode special that we're going to
Damn.
have live on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And
Damn.
we're going to be on like 5 social media things at one time. And my brain is freaking out now just trying to keep all that together. But that's for me to worry about down the road. But yeah, our 100th episode special on September 25th. Be there, 9 o'clock. Be there or be square. Yeah, my birthday's a couple days after that.
40.
I'm not turning 40.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think you would. Nah, I'll be that.
Well,
40.
Dylan, I am not turning 40. That is a lie.
40.
What I
Is it a
would
number?
later-
Is it a number close to 40?
Every number is close to 40.
I mean, when
That's
your
not
age
what
is.
I'll put it to you this way. I am still currently in my mid 30s.
I'll say you and I think my brother are the same age. I think you're. Hold on. Actually, no, because Steven's 8 years older than me. So Steven's older. Steven's older than you.
Yeah, Steven's older than me. Yeah, Steven is older than me.
You're to what? 36.
Yes.
You're old. Damn.
Still
Wait, are you going to be 36 or are you 35?
Still in my mid 30s. Still in the mid 30s.
For like a week.
Still in my mid 30s.
Hold on to that mid 30s real hard.
Still in my mid.
You turning 37, bro. I didn't mean 30, man.
For another couple of weeks.
40.
We are supposed to be doing an confidence prediction pool every week. Well, we never agreed. I want to just do simple 3, 2, 1.
Let's do it.
3-pointer, 2-pointer, 1-pointer. And then we're going to total it up at the end of the year. And then I don't know if loser has to do anything or
We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out as we go.
maybe we'll just do dinner or something. Maybe
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
make Anthony eat crab again.
Oh,
He loved it.
He loved every second of it.
it was an experience.
You know he liked it because he was real quiet.
I still have to get used to the whole eating the
Working
crap.
for your food.
Yeah, the whole working for that is something that I would have to get acclimated to because everything else is great, but
That's
that
like a
needs
once in
some
a while thing.
But other
But
than
I
that,
don't. Sausage. Jesus Christ.
All right, Mike, do you want to go first?
yeah, because I'm pretty sure you guys you might have been expecting it, but yeah. So I'm gonna go least 1 point, 2 point, then my most confident pick of the week, my 3 point. So for week 2, my 1 point game that I'm fairly confident in is going to be the Rams against the Cardinals. That Rams team showed me a lot last week. Actually, you know what?
No Puka?
We need music for this segment. Hey Dylan, how about let's go with this one. No, it's too much Too much going on in this beat.
Lower it a little bit.
I'm just 3 points.
How's that?
There we go.
I feel like I know what your 3-point is.
My 1-pointer will be the Rams against the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they were feisty. They were feisty against Buffalo in their all-white jerseys. And it's their home opener. And now all the excitement's going to be there. And then they're going to realize that they're playing the Rams. And the Rams showed me against Detroit that they are indeed a good team. Because triple threat Cooper Kupp is back. And he's going to run wild. He's going to go wild on them boys. So give me the Rams as my 1-point pick for this week. Then we will move on to my 2-pointer. My 2-pointer, as Dylan knows, as I said it on Sunday Night Forever, I was very impressed with this team on Sunday. I watched 90% of this team's game on Sunday because I was listening to Tom Brady. And Dylan
He's
was
bad at
hate
his
listening.
job.
And Dylan
Give
was
Greg
hate
Olsen his
listening.
job back.
Dylan was hate listening. But I was very impressed with the performance that they put on the field. I know people are saying Cleveland was bad and Cleveland this and Cleveland. The Cowboys whooped their ass. That's what happened. Start to finish. Dak looked like MVP Dak from last year. CeeDee looked like a top 5 receiver in this league. That defense was flying all over the place like they usually do. And we had an Ezekiel Elliott fighting. Gave me a little of this. Gave me a touchdown. So because of that, I'm jumping on Dallas. 2 points against the Rams, who I think, against the Saints, excuse me, who I think just scored again against Carolina. But, but this ain't Carolina. This ain't Carolina. These are them boys. And them boys are going to get it done. My 2-pointer for the week, Cowboys over the Saints. My 3-pointer. I don't know if Anthony knows I was going this way, but you guys are going to come to find out this is going to be a trend. Yeah, you better black out that screen.
I already put it on. I already know what it is.
Them Baltimore Ravens are
Fuck
going
you, Mike.
to dog walk those Las Vegas.
Say it again, Mike. Say it
They are
again.
gonna dog walk those Las Vegas Raiders. They are angry. I don't want to say they should have won the game against the
We're not angry. We're not angry either.
You guys stink.
You guys aren't the Chiefs. You don't have Patrick Mahomes on your team.
You don't got the juice.
The Ravens are home.
We got Max
The
Crosby.
Ravens are angry.
Max
I don't know
Crosby
if
got
you
shut
know-
out by a rookie tackle.
And I don't know.
Oh,
if you know
stop.
this,
Get the fuck out.
But the Ravens have a Hulk. And I believe you're going to see that Hulk run wild on your team.
I don't know. Hold on. Harbaugh said they didn't bring him there to run the ball 30 times a game. So that's
Who
not
said he's
happening.
got to run it 30 times to run all over the Raiders?
I mean, Dobbins off an Achilles did it, so I'm sure Derek
18
Henry did it.
carries, 18 carries, a $120 and a tutter. Mark it down. Mark it down.
18,
I love it.
20,
I love it.
Butter. I'll know
Ravens
it.
are my 3-point pick of the week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Big Mike's 3 confident picks for the week. Take it as you will.
All right, I will go next. I will happily go next. All right. My
You got your
one-
schedule in front of you. Okay, you're ready.
Yeah, I got the schedule from you. My 1-point pick for the week is your fellow New England Patriots over the Seattle Seahawks. I am taking the Patriots over the
Start off
Seahawks.
early.
He loves this
Um,
team.
Patriot bootlicker.
As somebody who has Stevenson on my fantasy team, he ran wild all over the Bengals, and the Seahawks D-line still leaves some to be desired. And I genuinely think that Stevenson will do a repeat. Dylan, what are you talking about? Their D-line stinks,
Their D-line
and
got
you know
better.
it's
Their D-line got better.
yeah.
Stop.
Against the Broncos is not a good success.
Oh, but we're gonna fucking
Come on,
hold the
just
Bengals
feeling-
defense
the-
to such a high standard.
Are the Bengals not better than the Broncos? Are the Bengals not better than the Broncos?
Defensively, no. The defense of the Broncos is good.
Whatever. I have New England winning that game. That is my 1 point pick. My 2 point pick. I have the Saints beating the Cowboys. That is my 2 point pick.
Do this. Why?
This is how you get a lead, Dylan. Do you see this? This is how you get a lead and start to pull away.
To be fair, I did have that on my mind. I was like, you know what? I was looking at the games. I was like, okay, yes, it was the Panthers, but Derek Carr's looking pretty good. So I got the Saints over the Cowboys. Cowboys beat up on the Browns.
The Browns are a much better team than the Panthers, even with bad
They
quarterback.
They didn't look like it.
Yes, they did. They did.
No, they didn't. And then my 3 points.
Can't wait.
My 3-pointer. As much as I hate to say this, but yes, the Chiefs over the Bengals. That is my 3-pointer right there. As much as, again, the Chiefs team, they got better. Xavier Worthy, he's looking like that dude. He is looking like a real threat in that Chiefs offense. So I'm not impressed with the Bengals. Plus, they always suck early in the year anyway. So I got that as my 3-pointer. The Chiefs over the Bengals.
I'm not mad at that 3-point.
I'm not mad. That's the only good pick
Burrowland.
you made. All right,
Shout out to Mom Digger.
my turn. My 1 point pick of the week: Falcons over the Eagles on Monday.
Whoa.
Hashtag
That's why it's a
Eagles
1
hate.
point
Eagles
and
hate.
not a 2 or 3 point. I picked the Dirty Birds to go to the Super Bowl, so in order for the Dirty Birds to go, they got to beat some other birds. Survival of the fittest, Darwinism. You know what I'm saying? My number 2 confidence pick of the week: them Nueva York Jets, Gotham City, going into the Music City, Tennessee, with Mike in attendance and doing that thing we do every time we play the Titans, which is beat that ass like a drum. Gonna go in there and whoop up on some Titans. Will Levis gonna be throwing another interception and end up on his knees again, going, "Oh no, what'd I do?" Fucking dork. And my number 3 confidence points go to the San Francisco 49ers over the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow, you really don't.
Wow. Yeah.
Or I really like the Niners. Pick one. Don't matter which one. That Niners team's really fucking good. That Vikings team just beat the shit out of the Giants. So that's like picking the Saints over the fucking Cowboys. That to me just putting more worth into the teams that they played, or less worth the teams they played versus the teams they are. I don't know 100% what this Vikings team is. So until then, I will default to them not being as good as the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm surprised none of us picked the Texans over the Bears.
I watched how the Texans played last week, and they let the Colts hang around.
They played with their food.
The Bears look like a team that will find a way to hang around, whether it's on offense when they eventually figure out their offense, which there's a couple things they could have fixed with Caleb to make that happen. Their defense is solid. They just need to play more and get more continuity. That's the one part. The offense is young. The defense is learning how to play together. So they'll eventually get there. But if they could figure it out, that this could be a good game. But if the Texans play to the potential of the Texans, this is a rout. So that's why I stayed away from it. Because I don't know what to expect.
But you don't have to worry about points. Just straight up.
Oh, straight up? Yeah, I'll take the Texans.
Yeah.
Straight up, I'll take the Texans. But in confidence points, I'm trying to build a lead because we got a certain guy in here who values a Derek Carr performance against a dog shit team. Yeah. He said, Dylan, apologize to Derek Carr on Sunday.
Against.
I'm like, it's the fucking Panthers.
And I think they just scored again.
It's the Panthers. The Panthers.
Well, but hold on, Dylan. To be fair, though, did we not expect the Panthers to at least improve this year?
Oh,
No. Who's winning?
So all their not when I say improve, I'm talking about even just marginally improve. But all their additions, you're talking about
what additions? What additions?
So,
What did they do?
they signed Deontay Johnson. They signed. They
had one touchdown pass in the NFL since Ben Roethlisberger retired.
But he was still an upgrade to that wide receiver core.
I'm still waiting.
So instead of 2 wins, they're gonna get 4 wins. That's what you're telling me.
That's still an improvement, though. That's still an improvement. And again,
they're gonna have the number 1 pick again.
So there's no improvement. That's how I.
Yeah,
look
but
at it.
who expected them to be down 30-3 in the first half?
I mean, I'm
I don't
surprised
think we
the
expect them to
Saints.
be dog shit.
I didn't expect the Saints to be that much better than them. But yeah, if you would have gave me 14 before that game, I would have took that.
Yeah, I would have
Took that. I didn't know it was going to be 60, but you know,
The,
14. I would have took 14.
like, there's nothing good about that team.
Like, I really don't think the Panthers are going to win more than 2 games this year.
Yeah.
Like,
They're awful.
they're bad. Like
They need so much help
their
everywhere. It
offensive
doesn't
line
matter.
is non-existent.
They're one of the few teams where if they got the
They just
first
invested almost like $200 million into their line.
you can't notice.
Who they get? It was from the Dolphins. They gave him like a 5-year, $100 million deal.
The Dolphins' offensive line wasn't good.
Well, somebody got hit with it.
Tarek Armstead, who's good. Austin Jackson, who's overrated as shit. He got paid. Those interior guards in the center for Miami were the worst part of their line. And just because of the way the guard market went, he had to get paid.
Miami had their outside ends. They were good. But if you want to get to Miami, you had to go right up the middle. If you go right up the middle, you got it. So
The Panthers are like, they're the first team that I could really say, if they get the first overall pick, should trade it and get as much as they can to just build whatever they
And
can.
still keep Bryce Young at quarterback.
He's going to help you be that bad. Like, might as well. Don't change that because a good quarterback's not going to help you.
They don't have.
Yeah, but nobody's thinking they're going to just shellac like that in week 1. I mean, you're at least thinking, okay, Bryce Young, new coach, new everything, might show some signs of improvement. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Defensive player, he got hurt. Their best defensive player got hurt.
Well, let's wrap this up. That, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this season, we'll be doing this every week. We will even have picks when we're not here. One of us will phone a friend, however. But that is our first confidence picks of the 2024 season. It's gonna be fun. Anthony already is in the hole. Already in the hole.
That's
Fantasy Focus. I'm him, and we out of here.
Let's do this.
So, Anthony, have you seen your team yet?
I have not seen my team. I am working on trying to actively see what my team looks
Well, if you're wondering, they're still called the Sin City Sleep.
Like, your team's
like.
Like, you have Saquon.
That's not a bad team.
Like your
Christian
team's really
Watson.
not bad. Your quarterbacks are tough.
It's
I got Deshaun Watson.
and Joe Burrow's.
Injured Joe, and you have probably one of the worst defenses in football.
But you have good receivers. You have a good
You got
tight
good
end.
running backs.
Saquon went berserk.
He did.
I mean, the Defend Tour 2024 could be a real thing, man.
If I could somehow log in, this
And
could
you
be.
didn't even pick.
See, you lost by one, not even a point.
Damn.
Not even a point, a full point. Blackheart was so happy when he messaged. And I know he was happy because he messaged me at like 7 a.m. Tuesday.
Oh my God, he had Jake Moody. Oh.
Oh, that's why he won.
Oh no.
Wow.
The one time you go against a kicker who kicks fucking 12 field goals.
The
shit.
irony that the kicker is. See, Dylan, Anthony was
The
right.
kickers don't matter.
Listen, if you have to tell me I have to rely on my kicker to get me fucking 20 points to win, I'm like, well, you know what? I lost. You can't depend on that. This is just a fucking an outlier of a situation. Where it's like, okay, you need 3 points. Okay, I can rely on my kicker to get me maybe 3, unless you have a jet kicker over the last 2 years. But if you have fucking anybody else, you're like, okay, cool. Anything more than 10, you're just like, shit. I'm definitely not winning that. Oh my God. Yeah, he got you 26 fucking points, Blackheart. That's just divine intervention, Anthony.
That really is. I'm glad I wasn't present for that. South would have been fit.
Meanwhile, your boy, highest scoring team in the league.
Yeah.
173.88.
Who did you beat?
Mario.
Mario. Who made a valiant effort. Mario would have beaten everybody but Raz and V.
Mike, did you win?
No.
Mike did not win. Mike barely scored 100. And he lost to Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson.
Damn.
Yeah, Anthony, I need you to figure out how to get in there because my wide receiving core is terrible.
Ugh, Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, I know that missed touchdown catch. I know that.
It did hurt.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk didn't get you shit.
He didn't get
Dalton
nothing.
Shit.
Christian Kirk got me nothing, and that's why I need Anthony to get it together because he's already on the trading block. Gotta go.
Honestly, Mike, you should consider throwing in Keon Coleman.
Maybe.
You Mike, you jump on that right now. Jump on that right now.
I do think Dalton Kincaid will get more touches. I think you're fine with him.
He's a 2 tight end system.
John, the running backs are good. I mean, it's gonna take some time. It's week 1.
The receivers on his bench.
Exactly. Where it's bare. It's
Mike,
bare.
you have 3 tight ends on your roster?
Yeah, because I'm looking to trade one.
Oh, God.
Looking to trade one.
Let me see Raz's team.
Raz's team. Raz got a good team.
He was happy with his team, as he told us.
Raz got a good team.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey. He's not even going to play net this week either.
Probably not, but it don't matter. Shanahan going to do what Shanahan does. Oh, he did swap McCaffrey for Jordan Mason.
Yeah, he told me. He told me.
Oh, that's a smart.
I'm glad I participated in that because he was going to lose, and he would have been furious.
Braz was. He said that was his consolation prize, that he pulled that one out of the fire.
As the standings go, Mike's in last place. Mike is not only the 0-1, but he's the lowest scoring team in fantasy football after week 1. Can he repeat this feat?
I did. Oh,
can he repeat this feat next week?
I'm gonna win this week. I'm gonna beat.
Who are you facing this week?
Anthony. I'm gonna beat Anthony.
I mean, if Anthony can't figure out how to get in here,
I will work tirelessly to get it.
But you better hurry up. You got Thursday Night Football tomorrow.
Let me see the matchup again.
Where the fuck is it? League. Scoreboard. Matchup.
Yeah, let me see that real quick. All right, Joe
Mike
Burrow
is projected to lose.
Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley. Go to my bench real quick. You know, actually, I just like the team as it is right now. I don't see the need of any changes. I'll keep it like that.
Mike, I think you should play a Panther.
The only thing I'd probably do is take off the damn Bengals defense. Other than that.
Are there any players worth a damn? Are any defenses worth a damn available?
Yeah, I gotta take a look. See it.
Let's see. Available. Oh, what? Defense.
You're gonna be playing the Chiefs. That can get rough.
The Lions are on waivers right now. If you put a waiver in for the Lions defense, you may get it because of where you stand on the waiver priority. But you gotta hurry up.
Yeah.
You got to get in there in the next 15 minutes.
You said the next 15 minutes?
Yeah, because I think once it becomes Thursday, the waiver claims go through. Yeah, Thursday says right here.
Well, let's wrap this up so he can get to work. I'm him. Our first I'm him of season 4. But before we get to that, let me just remind you to hit like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification. We are on all streaming stations: Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch. Check us out on Instagram. We are on everything. Wherever you get your podcast, we are probably there. Like, share, subscribe. Love you for listening. And now, like I said, our first I'm him of the season. Who is up first?
Let me go first.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I'm him. Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason, his first opportunity to get the bell, answered it very well. Hell of a game. Ran that Shanahan system. Follow those holes. Go be a great running back.
Beats just like a drum.
He did. He did his thing. Game recognized game. Right? So you got to appreciate it when it's there. Good for him for getting his opportunity and running with it. Join that long list of running backs in the Shanahan system that just pop up out of nowhere and do great things.
Anthony,
he gonna get paid off this game, that one game.
He might.
He probably will. My IMP for this week definitely goes to Baker Mayfield. That man played lights out. Almost 304 touchdown passes. Boy, that Buccaneers team looks promising. That Buccaneers team definitely looks promising.
It's crazy.
And we don't give Mike enough credit.
It's almost like somebody picked him to win the division in here. It's almost like Baker Mayfield's pretty good, but
What team do they face?
no. Hey.
What are we doing?
Hey.
What are we doing?
Hey. Me and Steven know the truth.
Steven does not like Baker Mayfield. But here, Mike, watch this. Bam.
What was that for? That was so uncalled for.
Hashtag Titan Tate. That's what
Mike's
it was.
being an asshole, so I had to pull this out.
Hashtag Titan Tate. That's what it was, Anthony. In real time. We started in real time.
That was so.
Mike was being an asshole. Luckily, I was scrolling Twitter and that just popped up from my boy Dove Kleiman. He said early candidate of photo of the year.
Oh.
My I'm him for this week is, which tends to happen a lot with me actually, is I'm her. And my I'm her is Miss Asia Wilson, who earlier tonight, again, live while we've been recording this, set the all-time WNBA scoring record. And as the Aces mollywopped Anthony's Indiana Fever. So my I'm her is for Asia Wilson, who set the record. Congratulations. Be a disgrace if she's not the unanimous MVP this season. And yeah, we'll see. We literally are like a week and a half away from the playoffs, and boy, oh boy,
Yes, we are.
Anthony
Yes,
is
we
going
are.
to be a poor man in just a couple more weeks. He's gonna be a poor man because his basketball version of Taylor Swift is gonna break his heart because the real world is coming. It's coming fast. Life's gonna hit you fast.
Keep waiting for it. That fever team is coming.
That's all we have. We can put up the he wasn't here. I don't know, Dylan, if you looked in the chat yet. Because that's why I wrote to you what I wrote to you because of that.
I did.
So, but we will nevertheless start the Where's Rod's counter.
Why did I get that picture? Why this picture?
When you find this man, you let us know when you find this man.
Homeboy look like a predator.
We are looking for him.
Why you gotta say that, Anthony?
Yo, why I have to get one of the worst pictures?
Listen, he said that to us. He said that to us, so it's fair game.
It's all fair game. When you find that man, you let us know where he is. He's on the loose. He's on the loose. Any closing statements tonight? You guys need Solo for a closing statement?
Nah, I'm good.
He's straight.
I'm also good. Thank you again for joining us. Like I said, join us in a couple weeks for our 100th episode special. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. So for
one of these guys is going to be real disappointed next week. So definitely tune in.
Yeah, it's going to be you because I'm going to come in here in first place for the confidence pool.
Oh, yeah. Anthony loves just saying dumb shit for bets. Anthony don't get tracked. Anthony's addicted to that shit like crack. He's like, yo, I got an opportunity to say something stupid. I'm here, bro. What you need from me?
I'm gonna remind you of this when the Saints beat the Cowboys this week.
I can't remind.
And that you're either gonna remind us when it happens, or you're gonna run very fast away and try to avoid it.
Out of there.
You're gonna be like, damn, I really thought the Saints were better.
I really thought they were going to beat the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, because they beat the shit out of the Panthers.
It just doesn't make sense. They beat the Panthers. Why can't they beat the Cowboys?
Gotta believe, man.
Yeah, well, you keep on believing. We'll be back next week to recap it. Dylan, Anthony, I'm Mike. We will see you next time.